This is Data Privacy Detective. Welcome to the Data Privacy Detective podcast series on video. This is our first video, although we've done 180 audio podcasts. Now, every episode, we're going to look for the meaning beneath the headlines about data privacy, your personal privacy in the online age. And today, we're going to turn our spyglass to what some reports have called the biggest data breach in history that occurred in the summer of 2024. Now, one report said that the entire population of the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada put together, and maybe more, people's identities have been exposed, including Social Security numbers. Well, on closer inspection, it turns out that a massive data trove of 2.9 billion rows of data have become exposed. And that includes Social Security numbers of 1 to 300 million U.S. residents. Now, many of those are deceased. The cache of data probably deals with people born before the year 2002. That's a lot of people, a lot of Social Security numbers out there. And what happened? Now, this was not the traditional data breach and hack. Instead, what happened here is National Public Data, that's a data broker, gathered from public and non-public sources enormous amounts of personal information about people, names, email addresses, postal addresses, phone numbers, and Social Security numbers. Now, we believe it's true that the Social Security numbers were in a database that didn't match them with email addresses, although it did match them with names. Some are inaccurate, there are duplications, and so on and so forth. But no question that enormous amounts of Social Security numbers are now floating about. Well, it's one thing for a data broker to have these, but it's another thing what happened here. And what happened here is a cyber criminal hacked the data broker, hacked National Public Data, and obtained this. And after a series of things, still quite mysterious, they'll be known someday in more detail. One cyber criminal decided to package this all and try to sell it on the dark web for $3.5 million. Well, this triggered things that have now led to government investigations and at least one class action lawsuit about all this. Now, if you want more details, you can turn into my audio podcast about what happened. I'd rather turn to, well, what do you do about this? Well, the first thing is you might want to find out if your Social Security number and your personal information was part of this massive data breach. You can do that in a couple of ways, free of charge. One is go to a site known as Have I Been Pawned? Now, that's PW without an A, PWNED.com. And you should be able to quickly put your name in and find out if you're associated with this data breach, at least according to this source. Or you can check out Pentester, PENTESTER.com, which can check you out whether your information's been hacked in other data breaches, including this one. And that may tell you whether you're a potential victim in what has happened here. If you can go to the Federal Trade Commission's site known as Identity Theft, a government site, and download free of charge a recovery plan, a personal recovery plan for yourself. Should you ask for a new Social Security number? Well, no, and I'll tell you why, because you can't really. There's one exception. If you can prove to Social Security that your Social Security number has not only been hacked and is being used, but is continuing to be used by someone to steal or try to steal your Social Security benefits, you might be able to get a new number, but it's going to be a hard, arduous task. Well, what else can you do to limit the impact of this data breach if you're part of it? Well, frankly, it's what you ought to be doing anyway these days in the online world, where there are a lot of data breaches and a lot of personal information that is used far beyond normal, legitimate purposes. Here are some tips. Monitor your credit reports. Now, there are three big ones, as you know: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And in each case, you can get one free credit report a week now, no charge, from an agency about your credit activity. And what you can find is there any unfamiliar activity? Is there someone looking into your credit report, someone you didn't recognize? You can unfreeze it if you're buying a new car or taking out a mortgage or doing something else which would require someone to look at your credit report. You can allow that and then refreeze your account, all of which should be at no charge to you. So get used to freezing, unfreezing, and then freezing again your credit reports. Check your bank and credit card statements, I would say daily, at least weekly. See if there's any illicit activity, because you should report that immediately if you see anything where you didn't purchase what seems to be purchased on your credit card, or check out a withdrawal from your bank account. If you didn't make it, somebody did it who shouldn't have done that. But you better call the bank right away. Don't carry your Social Security card in a purse or a wallet. Leave it at home. It's not an identity card. At best, it's an authentication card. And even then, turns out not to be a great one compared to what some countries issue to protect people's personal identity and right to benefits. Take a look at Estonia someday about how it handles this. Cyber criminals use Social Security numbers and other information like this to set up fake accounts with the money going to them. And then there's a defalcation. Now, that either hurts the government, the Treasury, which hurts all of us. We'll all pay taxes higher than ever, or increase our federal deficit. But it'll also protect you and avoid all the hassles and difficulties of showing that, no, you didn't get benefits, even though someone did, using your name. You need to take action to prevent that. Now, these are all steps that you can take to safeguard your personal privacy. As I said, take a look at and listen to the audio file 180 for a more extended view of what happened in this massive data breach in August of 2024. And as always, I'll close reminding us all protecting your personal privacy begins with you.